Welcome guys! Going from low FPS and low refresh rate on your monitor to high FPS and high refresh rate is game changing and will quite simply enable you to perform better in a game like PUBG. In this video, which is sponsored by NVIDIA and is part of their Frames Win Games campaign, I will demonstrate exactly when and why this is the case, so you can see it for yourself. But first of all, what does it mean to have high FPS and a high monitor refresh rate? Well, quite simply, this is all about how many frames per second your graphics card can render and how many frames per second your monitor can show. While there is an input lag reduction by simply having higher frames per second, the true magic happens when your screen can also show the higher frame rate by having more hertz. Because when your screen updates more often, you'll actually see things sooner than with a lower refresh rate, giving you better reaction time. Slowing down the footage and making a direct comparison between 60 and 144 FPS, you'll notice that due to the lower frames per second of the 60 FPS example, the steps between the frames are much bigger, resulting in lost information between those frames. With higher frames per second, you won't lose those frames, and you'll end up seeing enemies sooner. Keep in mind that the footage is slowed down a lot, and we're talking a small benefit to reaction time, but the benefit is absolutely there, and milliseconds already change the outcome of fights in PUBG due to the fast time to kill. In some situations, like this one where I'm hunting down an enemy early game, this small advantage is very welcome. Or this situation where I get shot in the back and quickly turn around, you'll see the enemy comes into view sooner with higher frames per second. But my favorite part of high FPS and high refresh rate is the smoothness you'll experience. When I went from a 60Hz monitor to a 144Hz monitor, the difference was night and day, and I don't think anyone who tried this will disagree. It's the feeling that you've been blind all your gaming life and suddenly you're able to see what games are supposed to look like. The difference is actually that big. And this difference can be demonstrated by simply looking at the animation smoothness of a running player. Looking at this running target, we can see that at 144 FPS, the animation is much smoother than the target at 60 FPS. This will make it easier to track and hit a running target as far fewer frames are skipped. The 60 FPS image essentially lags behind the 144 FPS image. So simply put, you'll not see the exact position of the player, and perhaps this could sometimes be part of the reason why you hit too far behind your enemy. This difference is also relevant when controlling recoil. As the recoil animation will shake around your reticle, it makes sense that having the reticle position update more often would make it easier to control. And this might be the reason why it feels so much easier with higher frames per second. PUBG used to have a problem where lower FPS would make your gun shoot slower, but this problem has been fixed. These examples are slowed down a lot to show you the difference and to understand what is happening. And during normal gameplay, you probably won't notice that you see things sooner on higher frames, but what is noticeable to the naked eye is how silky smooth the difference feels when looking at it in real life. And what is also interesting is that I've always said that I play better at higher FPS and hertz, and honestly, most people will say the same. So it's just interesting to see these comparisons, as I feel like it kind of explains why that is. Better hardware won't just magically make you a better player, but it will definitely better enable you to be the best you can be and to give you that competitive edge. I hope you found this video interesting and helpful, and if you did, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys next time.